This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
It sure is. Welcome in, everybody. It's a Wednesday morning here in America's Music City from the Acuff House Studios on the Grand Ole Opry Plaza. Welcome to Coffee, Country, and Cody. I'm Charlie Mattos. That's Annie Nye. You are? I should let you say your own name.
I know. I tried to jump in there and say it. Good morning.
Good morning. If you're wondering, hey, so where are Bill and Kelly?
So are we.
Yes, where are they? Very special day for Bill Cody. He is officially being inducted into the Music City Walk of Fame today. If you're in the Nashville area, it is open to the public. It's a 1 o'clock ceremony down at Walk of Fame Park. We'll talk more about that later in the show. Colin Reed, our longtime boss man at Ryman Hospitality Properties, is going in as well, along with Jimmy Buffett and the Fairfield Four, all today. And then later on, as part of this class, Luke Combs will be inducted. So
it's a big day for our company.
Yeah, Cody going in with some good company there.
Yes.
So very excited. And we'll be there too. It's going to be a beautiful day.
I know. We're going to be there supporting, cheering. Can we yell? Can we chant and hoot and holler?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
Do like the Predators. It's all your fault. No. No, maybe not. No, let's scratch that thought.
Okay, I won't do that.
Coming up in entertainment too, Kelsey Ballerini headlined Madison Square Garden last night, sold out crowd. The album release show for Patterns, and then heading out on a big arena tour in January. Kelly Sutton was there.
Yes.
And that's why Kelly isn't here this morning.
Right.
And we've talked a little bit about it, but I was just a little bit nervous earlier because if Kelly's flight on Southwest from LaGuardia was delayed in any capacity, yours truly was the fill-in to host the Walk of Fame ceremony today.
Yes.
So not that wouldn't have been fun and a great honor, but I'm glad she's here to do it.
Right. Now we can sit back, relax, and eat chips.
She was smart, too. Oh, they have chips?
I don't know. I'm painting this picture in my head that we're hooting and hollering.
And eating
chips. Yeah.
Okay. I like your version of this. I'm going to be disappointed now if there's no chips.
I know.
But she came prepared. She had all her clothes already in her car in the parking lot at Nashville Airport. So she doesn't even have to go home.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical.
So she's ready to go.
That's great.
But we'll update you on Kelsey. And Taylor Swift doing some great work for the folks in New Orleans after the Eras tour left there. And Jelly Roll being honored for all his humanitarian work from the folks at Variety Magazine. That's coming up in just a little bit. And we've got a world debut. Our buddies Jesse and Noah, they've been coming to see us for years. They are the sons of David Bellamy of the Bellamy Brothers, who's going into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. So I'm going to have them brag on their dad for a little while. But they have been immersed in the music business forever, and they are a great duo. And we are going to debut their brand new single, Crown Victoria. The album comes out on Friday, but we're going to give you a sneak peek this morning on Coffee, Country, and Cody. They're joining us in just a little bit.
More Coffee, Country, and Cody is on WSM.
TNTrailsandbyways.com. Get off the beaten path. Take the scenic route. What has, as we roll through fall, more than 75,000 pumpkins in the annual Pumpkin Village, 3 pumpkin houses, sweeps of more than 4,000 chrysanthemums, 9-foot-tall pamumpkin topiary made of orange mums. Get it? Pamumpkin made of mums in the shape of a giant pumpkin.
Dollywood?
You're close.
Because they got the pumpkin luminites.
It's right here in our backyard in Nashville. Cheekwood Estate and Gardens.
There we go.
Cheekwood Harvest this fall. Where are you taking us this morning, Charlie?
We're going to go west to the Great River Road Trail. And, of course, that would be the Mississippi is the Great River. 60 different stops on this trail if you go to tntrailsandbyways.com. What I love about it, too, is if you're looking for a day trip, a weekend getaway, or maybe you're going to come hang with us for a couple of weeks here in the great state of Tennessee, you can find tons of stuff to do. So just a really brief look at this trail. You've got the Old Millington Vineyard and Winery, just 14 miles north of Memphis. And through October, they've got live music on the outdoor lawn with obviously some nice wine to sample. And you know I love old theaters. The Ruffin Theater, 1930s, Art Deco. It's been completely restored. Elvis played there in 1955, and they still do concerts and performances. How cool would it be to see a place where Elvis played, right?
That's absolutely right. And there are 16 trail names. When you go to tntrailsandbyways.com, you'll see them. And again, Charlie just took us to the Great River Road Trail. And on those 16 different stops, there are recommendations, 1,351 to be exact. Find out more when you get to tntrailsandbyways.com.
Wednesday morning here on Coffee, Country, and Cody, and always love when we get to debut something that you've never heard before. The world premiere, brand new music. Our longtime friends Jesse and Noah in studio with us this morning. Welcome to our new home, guys.
Thanks, Charlie. Love it.
This is literally Mr. Acuff's living room that we're sitting in.
That's what
That's
I
really
thought.
cool.
And
really
the wood
cool.
and the wood that our guest platform is on is from the same wood as the circle at the Opry House, Ryman vintage early 1950s. So history all around this morning with us.
Amazing, yeah.
I was thinking back. First time I think you guys joined us might have been about a decade ago for an album called Southern Usonia.
Yeah,
Does that sound about right to you?
Yeah, it's been a decade. That's amazing. It's been close, if not, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys have been in Nashville now. Obviously, grew up in Florida with your dad and uncle, right? But you guys have been in Nashville about 20 years. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I think I maybe lived in Nashville for as close to as long as I lived in Florida at this point, yeah.
There was a time when I turned 54 and I realized I'd lived in Nashville 27 years.
Right.
Exactly half my life. But it was one of those kind of light bulb moments like,
yeah,
ooh.
It sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
You know?
So if you're on tour and people say, where are you guys from? Do you default to where you grew up or do you default to where you live now?
Well, it depends on who's asking.
Well, that's a valid point. Well, I mentioned we are going to debut new music. But the interesting part about this, and the song is great, by the way. I love it. It's called Crown Victoria. The album comes out on Friday, but we're going to debut the new single right now this morning. And while it is new and no one's heard it, there's a little history to this song, right? Because it goes back a few years.
Yeah, it's about 5 years.
Yeah, it goes back a few years.
It goes back to the pre-COVID days. It was something we recorded at the Cash Cabin, and we had initially planned on, maybe doing a complete project there, but then everything kind of shut down. So when we resumed recording, we still wanted to put it out, so we put it on this EP.
I've been in the Cash Cabin. I did a long sit down one time with John Carter, and I'm not a musician, so I'm not in studios a lot. But I've always heard people say that certain places just have a vibe, like Muscle Shoals, like Fame has a vibe. Studio B, RCA has a vibe. That Cash Cabin, you can feel the history there.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's that's why people want to go back to those places.
Yeah.
I mean, over and over again. That's why we're still recording it in all those spots. And and we're here in Mr. Acuff's house. So
yeah. So what's the story?
Kind of vibe.
What's the story of the song? Set it up for us.
Well, it's sort of and it seemed appropriate to record it at the Cash Cabin because it's about someone who gets caught on the wrong side of the law, and it seemed to have some similar themes to some of the themes that Johnny would explore. I'm not sure exactly where the story comes from. I just, it was one of those things where you start coming up with, riffs and chords and stuff, and then you're looking for the kind of hook, and that kind of leads you to the story of it. But I think that, it was really cool to record it at the Cash Cabin because it shared some things, and the way we did it, pretty stripped down. It's pretty much our band playing live in the studio there. So it also, that's another kind of Johnny Cash-ish thing.
And we did everything in a day on that. We mix and all.
Yeah.
Sometimes that immediacy is where you capture the magic, right? Because if you do something 39 times, you often find that the first or second is the best of the 39 anyway, right? Yeah. I'm curious, too, when you guys write, and this is probably not universal, it doesn't happen every time, but does it tend to happen more often that one of you does more of the lyrics and one does more of the music?
Not necessarily.
No. Okay.
Or it's rare that we sit down and write together. It's more like we write separate songs and then bring them to each other and then sort of like hash out the details on what we do.
It worked out okay for Lennon and McCartney doing it that way. So you're in good company on that one.
Yeah, no, it's it's good. It keeps you honest and Yeah. No, I mean, they'll just say, "Hey, go back and rewrite that."
Right,
Are those lyrics finished?
Hey, speaking of lyrics, by the way, congratulations to your dad, David
absolutely.
Bellamy, who is going into the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
The induction ceremony has not happened yet. It's coming up, right?
It's next week, the 6th, I
think
believe.
it is.
Okay. You guys going to be in town to be able to go?
Yeah, we're gonna go. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
What
I'm
a
excited.
special night, right?
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
So at what age growing up do you realize that your dad and your uncle do something really cool that not everybody's dad and uncle do? Was it pretty early on, or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that we ever thought about it as being different. It was just, it was just normal for us.
Yeah.
There was no, even with us, I don't know there was any decision to start doing this. It just happened, and so far that we've been able to get away with it. So.
Wednesday morning here in America's Music City. Charlie Mattos, Annie Nye manning your ship today. I think we've avoided the iceberg for the most part. You got the Titanic reference or no?
No.
Not from that look on your face. You
Not
did not.
at all. Not even like a tiny little bit.
You're aware of the Titanic, however?
I know the movie. I know the film, correct. Yes.
Okay.
Have I ever seen it? No.
Okay.
Do I know that
They hit an iceberg?
they hit an iceberg? I do know that. It happens at the end of the movie, right?
Yeah, because if it happened at the beginning,
Right.
it would be not a whole lot of
There has to be
movie.
some aftermath.
There's a little after the iceberg.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway.
They get on the door,
Yes.
and there's not enough room for them both.
There really is, though. That's the thing.
I know they did all the math.
Yeah.
See, I do know.
Very selfish.
We've lost Jeff.
We have. Yeah.
Did you see him pointing at us for a long time?
I'm like, I must be doing something really wrong. And then he's frozen.
I thought the same thing.
Yes, Jeffrey is on Zoom. Jeff Roberts, our studio director. Jeff is actually in the same building with us. You know, for the longest time, for years, he was at the Opry house while we were at the hotel. Now
Yeah.
we are all together in the Acuff house. He is still separated by a floor. He's up on the
Yes.
second floor. We're on the main floor.
But now we see him in real life every day.
We do, and it's
I know
nice.
he does have legs.
Yeah, the first few times I actually saw him when he came over to the hotel, it was weird. It was like seeing a hologram of somebody you kind of know, but not like the real person.
Right.
And now I see him enough that I'm used to him
Yeah,
actually
he's real. He's a
being,
real
being
person.
himself.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of cool stuff to talk about this morning. First off, shout out and congratulations, Bill Cody, 30 years at WSM Radio, Colin Reed, our longtime leader at Ryman Hospitality Properties. They are being honored with stars in the Music City Walk of Fame.
Today's the day.
1 o'clock this afternoon, going to be glorious sunshine, upper 70s to low 80s for
I know.
sure. So what a beautiful day.
Yeah, but like kind of upsetting. No? It's
You-
October.
Well, I would be okay with it being 65.
yeah.
But I wouldn't want it to be one of those 45 and rainy overcast
Yes. No,
Octobers.
not today because we have to sit outside and eat chips.
Yes.
But 80 degrees in October.
Granted, it's a little warm. I'm with you on
That's
that.
Jeff.
But for them, it's a nice day. Fairfield 4, the legendary gospel quartet, will be honored as well. And the late, great Jimmy Buffett will be there. I know Larry Gatlin will be there to induct Bill Cody. So that in and of itself is going to be special because they have known each other for so long.
That'll be really fun.
But it's really going to be a fun night. Luke Combs is actually part of that induction class, but it just wasn't going to work for his schedule today. So they'll induct Luke sometime in the future. And it is open to the public, 1 o'clock this afternoon. And Hall of Fame Park is right downtown between the Hilton, Bridgestone Arena, and the Country Music Hall of Fame. So if you're free, come and hang out with us. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
The reason Kelly Sutton is not here this morning is she was with Kelsey Ballerini last night at
How cool is
Madison
that?
Square Garden. We were talking on TV about shows we have seen at Madison Square Garden because it is truly one of those bucket list kind of places to go to. And I got to see you two there. And I also went to boxing once. Because I'm a big boxing fan.
Oh, okay, that's fun.
Well, it's like the mecca of boxing back in the day. So it's just saying, well, this
Didn't
is a
know
place
that.
I have to see. Oh, yeah. Like
Back in the day.
the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Like
When you were a kid?
Ancient. I'm going to ignore you. You know, I have control of your microphone. You should be nicer to me.
Back in the 50s when Charlie was a teen.
But it was the mecca of boxing back then. Like Ali and Frazier in like 71.
Oh, that's really cool.
That was like the super fight.
That's really cool.
Yeah, thank you. All right.
Yes.
And you got to see
Ariana Grande.
Which is pretty neat too, right?
Definitely really cool. It was a
Yeah.
cool show. She had a big moonlight, like an actual moon. Really cool.
Yeah. So Kelly was very excited to go to Madison Square Garden, and Kelsey Ballerini headlining MSG for the very first time.
Well, it was her album release party.
Was for Patterns. Yeah.
Yes.
What a 20,000 seat album release party.
Yes, I insane.
Right.
And she promised it'll be different than her tour.
Correct.
So.
And as a vinyl collector, she's killing me because
Yes.
she's released like 49 versions of this album.
She said, I want all of Charlie's money.
Right,
So
right.
I'm going to release a vinyl in every color,
Right.
in every texture, in every pattern, dare I say.
See, if she had only released this 2 months ago, because Taylor Swift got all of Charlie's money.
Correct.
And Charlie's going to have to earn more monies before he can spend on anything else for a while.
Should we tell Eric and Colin maybe that we need more monies for patterns?
Yeah, I've tried that. It doesn't work.
Oh.
No.
Well, maybe if they know it's going to Kelsey, really.
Well, perhaps. Yeah. They could also let me know how much money I would get for Social Security if they, tell me to leave. So I don't want to do that. Yeah.
We won't let that happen.
But I'm sure Kelly's going to have a lot of great video and stories to tell tomorrow about Kelsey Ballerini. And the arena tour, she'll be at Bridgestone January the 31st. Maisie Peters and Marin Taylor. I feel like we've been on this whole journey with Marin Taylor. We were here when she got her record deal. We were here when she released her first single. We were here when she got her Grand Ole Opry debut, Invite. We did that on Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Wow.
I got to work her Opry debut. So it's so cool that she's getting to open arenas for her label mate at Black River, Kelsey Ballerini. So good for her. But she does seriously have, I think, 7 or 8 different vinyl versions of patterns. And they really are beautiful pressings.
And none of them have, because she just released songs as well in her release week. She
Correct.
released the bonus songs,
Right.
acoustic version of.
Yep.
Yeah. So, is that on all of them, or do you have to buy another? I don't know. I won't ask right now.
No, this might be
I'll wait till the paycheck hits.
Might be the Swiftie thing,
Yeah.
because you put a bonus track on every other vinyl, got to buy them all now. So,
Yep.
Speaking of Taylor Swift, great work in New Orleans. The folks at Second Harvest Food Bank there in New Orleans saying Taylor's donation to them covered enough for 75,000 meals for the homeless and those suffering in New Orleans. And she's done that at every tour stop along the way.
It really is incredible what she can bring to a city: joy, money, music.
We made a point of talking to as many people as we could,
love
both
that.
people in the streets, because they were just so incredibly friendly, and you could tell who was obviously there for Taylor Swift.
Yes.
But also everywhere we ate, we sat at the bar. Because number one, you can usually get a table faster.
Right.
But number two, the conversation with the bartender is priceless to me. I learned so
agree.
much about cities from talking to the bartender. Because your server, while they're great, you don't see them much. The bartender's
Right.
always within earshot of you. And universally, they had the best things to say about everybody who had come to visit.
That's amazing.
So I love that.
That is really incredible.
Our buddy Jelly Roll is being honored. This is pretty cool. Variety magazine, he will get the Changemaker of the Year award.
And is he ever?
Not only for his musical success, because there's been a lot. This is all part of their Hitmakers celebration. But for all the work he's done with inmates and those in recovery.
Yes.
And it's not just a one-off. It's every city he goes to, he takes the time. I sent you the link to the podcast.
I know. I'm
referenced
excited.
earlier.
I'll definitely be listening to that.
It's Q on CBC, so it's a Canadian show, and Tom Power is the host. And he's an old bluegrasser, played banjo in a band, but he's the host of the show. I think he's done it now 3 or 4 years. But for somebody doing something that it's not their main thing, he may be the best I've ever heard at doing it. Because
really?
That's a skill to do something out of the box and be,
Absolutely.
and be good at it. Because you get graded on a different schedule. It's like, well, he's okay for a musician. No, he's just great on any level.
Yes.
But Jelly Roll was telling the story, and it gets me every time I tell it, because it's the first time he's gotten to go to Canada. Obviously had some legal issues which kept him from leaving the country. And he can't go to Europe yet, I don't think. But he was able to do dates in Canada. And Tom was saying, and I saw you went to, you visited with the indigenous people, you went to a rehab place. And he goes, oh man, I live for that kind of stuff. He goes, I at the rehab center, I got to go to all the rooms individually, and I met with 3 people, 2 women and a guy, who were there for the first day of the detox. And he goes, that's the worst day.
Yeah.
And then at the show that night, there's a guy in the front row And he goes, big old boy like me. I mean, tattoos everywhere, with a big smile on his face, holding up a sign that says 538 days sober.
Amazing.
And it just made me think, man, I was there for these people's first day. And wouldn't it be great 2 years down the road if they're holding up that sign and I was there at the start of it?
Changing lives. He really is. I mean, he does little things and big things all over, and it's awesome to see because it's so early in his career. For him to give back to everyone, it's really awesome. And he's not only changing the world, but he changed as a person, I'm sure, so much. I don't really know much about why he, wasn't allowed to go into other countries. I don't know much about his criminal record.
Well,
but
there's a fair amount of it. Really?
I'd imagine so.
And it was at the point where it was going to go one way or the other.
Right.
And there was no in between on him.
So it's just awesome to see that it has, he's impacting the world and himself with all these actions.
And famously, the connection to Opry star Craig Morgan. He heard the song Almost Home in prison, and those lyrics so resonated with him, it kind of helped him turn his life around.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and Craig on the Opry stage one night gave him handwritten lyrics framed to that song.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That is so cool.
Complete full circle.
Love that.
All right, one day away from Halloween, and Google Trends, they're ranking the most searched Halloween costumes. Okay, Marvel's Deadpool and Wolverine, obviously with the big movie this summer. That's pretty much expected,
That's
right?
That's a fun costume too.
The Minions from Despicable Me. The Minions.
That's your favorite.
I do love the Minions. I think I could be a good.
That's what you should be.
I could be a good Gru if I had
you
to be.
could.
Don't you think? I mean, I
Yes.
could kind of,
That was good.
Thank you.
He has kind of what, Jeff? Can we see that?
What did he say?
No, I want to see you do that.
Oh.
Do the that's good. Yeah.
I could dress all in black, obviously.
And a little scarf. You'd look great in a scarf.
And I would look great in a scarf. You're mocking me, but I think I would look great in a scarf. Thank
That would
you.
be awesome.
I have scarves. But you're talking superheroes. I'm a sucker for Spider-Man. Perhaps the cutest ever Spider-Man.
is.
Yep. There's Tom Roberts.
Thomas.
Almost 4 years old. That's Jeff and Lauren's little boy.
So cute.
And looking really happy as Spider-Man. You.
My best costume ever was Post Malone. Senior year of college. It looks
so great.
really good on the big screen.
Well, and the fact that it's in black and white makes it even better, I
It's
think.
a stunning image. I'll have to repost it.
Yeah. And Jackson is going, he's a mashup because we still love the costume from last year when he was the plague doctor. And then Renee found him this steampunk mask in New Orleans. So he's mashed the two.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And if you're watching, he's the one on the left.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was more frightened by the other.
Yeah, the guy in the Hamilton's hoodie.
Yes.
That's me. Yeah. But that is tomorrow, and unfortunately, it may rain a little bit in Tennessee. I'm a little sad. About that. But are you dressing up? Are you going out? Are you handing out candy? What is your Halloween mission for Halloween 2024?
I am flying home to meet my nephew. So.
Oh, that's right. You're doing neither. That's right. You're going back to Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, to see Little Man.
Yeah. So I'll probably hand out coffee. I'll probably hand out candy.
Right.
Or if they want coffee, they can for a little bit, and then I get on a plane at like 8:30.
And Little Man is 9 days old right now. Be 10 days old tomorrow.
Yes.
The 21st.
The 21st. Yeah.
All right. What's Little Man's name?
Matthew.
Matthew. A little shout out to Matthew.
Matthew.
Auntie?
They call him Maddie.
Are you Auntie Annie?
I don't know what I'll be. I think I'm gonna let him name me. So.
I like that. A little dangerous, but cute nonetheless. Okay.
It should be.
And real quick, your dad texted because we were talking about shows and bucket list places, and Madison Square Garden is one of those places. Run the list of artists that your dad has seen at Madison Square Garden. It's pretty
dad
impressive.
Has seen Black Sabbath, his favorite, Kiss, Queen, Bruce Springsteen, and others that he didn't name, but that itself is a great lineup.
Now, I've seen Springsteen a bunch of times,
But not at MSG.
Never at Madison Square Garden. But to have seen Freddie Mercury is pretty cool.
Yes. Really cool.
Yeah, that's
really
that's
cool.
All right.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
I would agree. Yeah.
All right, let's listen to some music.
I think so. What did he say about me? You can talk to Charlie about anything and nothing at all.
Yes.
I don't even know if it was a compliment, but I took it as such a nice. I like it. Made me feel better about myself.
Good.
All right. How about some Keith Urban?
I love that.
Yeah. Okay.